And how's it going, Hawks Nest? Welcome back to the Boise Hawks live game broadcast presented by Flow Sports. I'm Adam Bridges, here with Sam Minigat. Here.
I am here. Pleasure to be here. It's awesome to be up here. What a great view we got going on.
Oh, yeah. Really nice day here at Memorial Stadium, as we will be the ones guiding you on this thrilling matchup. We are in Game 4 of this series so far in Memorial Stadium against the Ogden Raptors. In the very first game, we had a doubleheader. The doubleheader came after a rainstorm delay, which ultimately turned into the cancellation and doubleheader. In that game, the Boise Hawks took a 6-0 win there on the hand of Matt Volker, who's able to pitch all 7 innings and complete that shutout. In the second game, both teams ended up splitting, with the Ogden Raptors taking that one 9-7. The Boise Hawks had a chance in the final inning, but were unable to tie the game up. In the previous game yesterday, we had a one-score game there, but the Ogden Raptors ultimately took it 6-5 on a final out from Ronnie Allen Jr. And without further ado, let's get into the lineup for the Ogden Raptors. At that number 1 spot, we have Feltz, the right fielder. He should be stepping in the box right now. Following him, we have Sal Gazzo, and Teixeira following him in the first 3 batters up in this game. So, Sam, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm a left-handed pitcher from Eugene. That first one's in there from a girl at 86 miles an hour on the inside corner for a strike. Let's go. Great way to start. From Eugene, Oregon, so I'm a Northwest guy in general. Love being over here, man. The guys have been great. It looked like a change-up on the outer half. Real good pitch there. Ahead 0-2. Well, Gav, good start. Yeah, and left-handed pitcher, dealing with some stuff right now as far as some arm problems, but we're coming back, so hope to see the fans will see me here soon.
Yeah, and obviously, lucky enough to have you in the press box for today's game. Is this third?
This is my third official color game. Yeah, I did this years ago when I was injured in Kelowna. As Gav strikes out, 87 mile an hour fastball up in the zone there. Look at that. Great start, 4-pitch strikeout.
A great way to start the game off there. Getting that confidence, getting the first one to your belt, and then, hopefully being able to extend on that momentum of the very first at-bat,
Absolutely, no. Great leadoff approach by Gav, just attack, make a changeup look like a fastball. That one, he's showing everything. That looked like a slider, a front door slider for strike 1, and the thing I'm seeing already, he's throwing all these for strikes, and they're competitive pitches. If he can stay in that mode, he's going to be real good.
Yeah, and if he keeps on changing it up, from pitch to pitch, it will be a little bit more difficult for, some of these batters to key in the, next play appearances following up on this one.
That's right.
That one from Minder to Beza. Quick, easy out there. Out 2.
Yep, the second out, they got a little 6-3 there. Again, he's just establishing that fastball command early and building off it, with the secondaries, and everything looks really good. His only miss he had was right out of the zone. It's a little early to tell, but his stuff looks really good. He looks super confident.
Yeah, now with the pressure on a little bit with the Boise Hawks here, dropping the last 2 games of the series with now, at that point, the South on the line. Although we are very early on in the season and anything can happen at this point, it is a little bit nice to at least have that lead in the series into their own division, for as long as you can. In the beginning of the series, the Hawks had a quite comfortable lead in the Southern Division, but ultimately after dropping those last 2, this game could be the ultimate deciding factor for that, early South win.
No, this is a huge. It's early on. It's only Series 2, but it's a huge series for us. This is our division. They played really well in their first series. So did we. So we were kind of neck and neck coming into it, and we're playing really good against them. Every game we played against them is real competitive. So that's what it's going to be with these guys. That's grounded to Beza for a 3 unassisted to end the inning. Great start by Gav right there, Gavin Gorell.
Yeah, and with that one, we'll have to see the Boise Hawks, see how they'll be able to start off this game as we head into a break here heading into the bottom of the first.
In the sunshine, everybody loves the sunshine.
And we're back here at Memorial Stadium as the Boise Hawks take on their first inning of play, starting off with Kenny Oyama. Kenny Oyama staying in the top of the lineup for every single game up to this point, except for that second game featuring the Boise Baconators when Cole Kaler ended up subbing into that lineup spot right there.
Yeah, he's filling into that role great. Kenny's a guy that never tries to do too much. He always, he plays to his strengths really well. Oh, it looks like we got a
pitch clock
violation there.
Yeah, so far we haven't seen many pitch clock violations up to this point. We had one on Walters the other day, and in the very first series we had one on Monroe from the Idaho Falls Chuckers. Other than that, haven't seen much. Only been on the batters so far, just not getting in the batter's box in time. That one hit into shallow center. They're right outside of the reach of the shortstop there.
See, that's just a great example of what Kenny does so well. I mean, with that pitch clock violation, put him in a hole right away, threw another fastball for a strike, got him into an 0-2 hole. Got a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, 0-2, that he couldn't do much on except just loft it into center, and he just stays to his plan. He's so good at that.
Yeah, and following up, we have another very reliable hitter for the Boise Hawks so far, Cole Kaler from Texas A&M.
Oh yeah, Aggies. He's been very reliable. He's been hitting the ball real hard lately. 92-mile-an-hour fastball in there for a strike. But no, Cole's great. He stays to his plan too. He hits his plan is basically just hit hard line drives, and he does a great job of it.
Yeah, so far he's been able to create some impressive hitting so far. He's had 2 doubles to his name and 4 RBIs. He's also had 7 walks in some of his plate appearances. That one gets Oyama to second on a pitch that got a little outside of the reach of the catcher there.
Yeah, got away from the catcher Williams, and Kenny with his speed, that was easy. He cruises, man. He's so fast.
Yeah, no, some of the more notable players on the Hawks team that have been able to create some steals pretty early on have been Oyama and Poteet. I feel like with Poteet, just looking at him, I feel like you don't really expect him to have some burner wheels, but when he gets on base, you definitely know he's that steal threat there.
Yeah, I always make fun of DJ because he's my roommate too. So
oh really?
I give him I give him less credit just because I mess with him all the time. But no, DJ's fast. He makes up for it too. If you don't think he's fast, he makes up for it with his strides. That's hit out to left and foul by Kaler. We're going to even up the count at 2-2.
Almost a little dangerous there. He would have stayed on the right side of that third base.
Yeah, no, that's the Bermuda Triangle over there.
So even count here. Runner in scoring position there. Another clock reset.
I think the pitcher disengaged, so I think that was his one off.
Yeah, according to the new pitch clock rules, pitchers are only allowed 2 disengagements. It's a little interesting because I believe in the previous game, the disengagements counts as a pickoff, and I think he had more than, 3, I would say.
Yeah, per batter, I believe the rule is you can have 2 that are unsuccessful. If there's a third unsuccessful, he's awarded the base. I believe that's how it works. 3-2 count here, big hit. Yep, fastball, 92 miles an hour down in the zone.
His 8th walk on the year so far.
Yep, he's real patient too. That's another strength of his. And I feel like that's pretty much 1 through 9 with our guys. They're very selective, very patient, looking for something to drive. And if they don't get that pitch when they're down in a count, they never try to do too much. I think that we've had a lot of success so far by sticking to that plan.
Yeah, and the Hawks so far in this lineup has been pretty successful with stringing runs very early on. In the previous games, they've been able to get on runs very, very early, get those rallies, and be able to extend their lead in the very beginning, very first inning of play.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, early run support's great. I mean, from a pitching perspective, as a pitcher, that's the best feeling in the world is when you got, it's twofold. You got cushion to work with, but you don't have that mentality. You still gotta pitch like you're competing, even with a big lead.
Yeah, now Raymond Gill stepping up to the box, 3-hole hitter.
Yep. Gill hits the heck out of the ball.
Yeah, he ultimately led the Boise Hawks in home runs last season. I believe he had 9th in the whole Pioneer League there.
Yeah, and he hasn't seen a lot of it this year so far, but he's hitting balls right at guys really, really hard, man. And I keep a joke with all the pitchers down there, but I'm putting my yard card down all the time for him because he's due. He's gonna hit one, and when he hits it, people are gonna hear it in Washington.
And speaking about that, with this lineup, of all the players in the lineup for the Boise Hawks, who do you think is most due for that home run in this game so far?
I mean, Gill's got to be my guy. That's fouled off to the left side. Gill's in that position. I think Alex Baeza's in that position. He's on deck right now. And Baeza's got so much size behind him, man. When he gets that ball, I mean, he's gonna meet barrel down in that he's going to find his pitch down in the bottom of the zone, and he's going to drive it. It's going to go a long ways. So those 2 guys are kind of my picks for backside pick off to first base. Kaler read it like a book. He's back in there.
I just say we.
Check.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, folks. We had a quick cutout, but Ray Gill ended up striking out on a pretty good slider. I think it was a 2-2 slider. Alex Beza, first baseman's up right now. Looking to drive some runs in here.
Yeah, one of the more notable hitters for the team so far, one of the new additions, has been able to get on base and extra bases in most of his at-bats so far. I remember in the first couple of games, he ended up having a streak going with it. The very first exhibition games, he had 2 doubles in both of those games. Ended up getting another one in the third exhibition game. Unfortunately, wasn't able to carry that streak going into the season, but he has been able to be pretty productive at the plate.
Right, yeah, and I'm not so sure that you need to, measuring consistency is it's different as he takes a 92-mile-an-hour fastball in the outer half to even up the count at 1-1. You know, streaks are one thing. I don't think you need to have streaks to be consistently successful at the plate. His approach is hit the ball really, really hard to the pull side. He does a great job of that. He finds holes. If he can do that in big situations like this one, we've got Oyama in second, runner scoring position with less than 2 outs, and we can capitalize on that hard hit ball down the line, which is kind of what he's good at. I'll take that any day, especially if he's due. Swings and misses at that to make it 1-2.
Healthy hack there.
Oh yeah, big one.
Now still one out here, so we'll see what he'll be able to do. Driving anything in the gap here would potentially get that very first score on the board.
Oh, great take there. Fastball up in the zone. It's kind of a setup pitch right there. Pitcher's got a 1-2 count, so thinks he can chase a ball with a, up in the zone hard with a guy that's 6'4". It's not a bad pitch right there. Struck out on a slider there.
Now Sean Skelly coming in the box. Hit a home run in the previous game yesterday. The 2 RBI single from Anthony Walters was ultimately the very first score, very first runs that the Hawks were able to bat in. And right after, Skelly was able to drive Anthony Walters home, as well as himself, with a very, very strong home run there.
That one's fouled far off to the right side, past that beer garden out there. Skelly's been huge, man. He's a veteran guy, really, really knows his role well, does it really well. I mean, you saw it yesterday, hit a 400-foot home run, really easy swing on a pretty difficult pitch, and he's really seasoned. We love Skelly. He's on fire right now. I'm hoping he can keep it going.
Yeah, he also had the very first triple in the Pioneer League, his very first at-bat. That one ended up staying as the only triple up to that point until the third game of the season, but still a notable action there.
No, Skelly's sneaky fast. You don't give catchers a lot of credit for being fast, but I'm telling you, he's a sleeper for a guy that moves fast. Hopefully he can capitalize right here, We go 2 strikeouts to the guy in scoring position. That's tough to see, frustrating. He's got an 0-2 count here. Fastball up, makes it 1-2. The plus of that is, those guys getting on and us working, those at-bats. We're getting a pitch count up on that starter. Hopefully get to their bullpen sooner. Hopefully Skelly can capitalize here with a 1-2 count and 2 outs.
Taking a long look back at second. And just like that, both runners advance. We now have Oyama on third and Kaler at for second.
Yep, great ball and dirt read. Get those guys up to second and third. The goal here is just get a hit. Hit'll score 2. That puts us in a great position. It keeps that momentum going, especially with 2 outs. That'd be huge.
And up on the mound for the Raptors, Ronnie Orta pitching from the right-handed side there. Hold off there.
Yeah, he disengaged rubber. That was the first one.
healthy hack ends the inning there as we now head into the top of the second. Both teams scoreless up to this point as we head into the next inning of play.
This is Mike. He's all about keeping good energy in the room. From his wood-burning hobby to practicing good energy smart habits, like sealing around doors and windows to save energy.
Why burn money?
More good energy tips at idahopower.com/save.
And we're back here at the top of the second here at Memorial Stadium as we now have Alexiades, the cleanup hitter, starting up at the top of the second here.
Yep, Alexiades been doing a little bit of damage to the lineup. This is probably a guy that we need to really pitch to. It sounds silly, but pitch around.
Yeah, some of the notable hitters for this Raptors team have been Teixeira and Alexiades up to this point, having pretty good success so far in the series.
Yep, had a few hits, had a few home runs against us early, got ambushed a few times by those guys. There's a 1-0 fastball in there to even up the count at 1-1 at 86 miles per hour. Again, Gavin is looking very, very good, establishing command early with all of his pitches. It's super important for him to go long. Great slider there, just missing the corner.
Alexiades, the only person on the Raptors lineup to hit a home run in the previous game. He hit it in the top of the first, giving those very two first driven in runs there.
That's a great pitch. Change up there. 2-1 change up.
That 6-3 play gets the very first out there.
Yep, that's going to be huge for our guys to be able to throw whatever pitches we can and whatever counts, and that's a prime example right there. We go 2-1 changeup. It's a fastball count. It's a hitter's count. He's looking for something to hit hard, and he just, on top of that, changeup right there. Great pitch.
Now Gurrell facing Bouchard, the third baseman from the left side. And Bouchard, he didn't play in the first game, ended up making an appearance in the second game, and ultimately didn't make another appearance in the third game, making his second appearance overall in the series today.
Yep, he's ahead 2-0 here. 3-0, slider buried.
In that only appearance up to this point, he did have quite a bit of hitting. Of his 4 at-bats, he was able to get 2 hits and was able to be driven in on those 2.
Can't get over how beautiful it is today, man. All the rolling hills and the spotty blue and white in the sky.
Especially much nicer than the other days. That one hit high and deep to Jorgensen in the left field, able to make that catch for the second out.
Yep, 3-0, just a 3-0 fastball, green lighted. You know, I guess they had confidence in him to drive something right there. He just swung at a pitch that was a little bit too out of the zone. You know, right there you're looking for something that's middle or middle in, something to drive the heck out of, and we'll take that. That's an easy F7 right there for Jorgie.
Now Logan Williams from Honolulu, Hawaii, stepping onto the box.
Beautiful tourist destination spot. Been there. It's gorgeous.
How many times have you been to Hawaii?
Just one time when I was in high school, but it was a trip to remember. It was stunning.
Yeah, I remember I only went in elementary school, I think it was 3rd grade, for a wedding. That was Maui. Other than that,
beautiful. Yeah, Maui's awesome. You know, I'll probably get chewed out for this, but I think Riley Wydell is from Maui. I know he's from Hawaii in general, but I can't remember what island. So folks, don't listen to me. Don't take my word for it. As the 2-0 sliders in there at 77 for strike one. Counts 2-1 to Williams. A while.
Yeah, 3-1 count. Still 2 outs here.
3-1 here with 2 outs. We're just trying to throw a strike. Whatever pitch he's most confident in throwing a strike in and making a competitive pitch here. Looks like a slider. That was a great pitch. That's going to it's going to load the count 3-2.
Yeah, swung on a pitch very nearly outside the zone there. Unable to make solid contact. Full count here now.
Yeah, kind of started middle in and ran in towards that back foot. Kind of almost hitting his back foot. Here's the pitch. It looked like a changeup down the line.
Now Kaler,
great throw. Let's go. 5-3 to end the inning.
And just like that, with that very far throw from Kaler, we head into the bottom of the second as the Boise Hawks look to take that big old donut off the scoreboard there.
Tina is all about keeping good energy in the room. From her happy cats to being good energy smart, like replacing all her bulbs with LEDs. We've burned them. More good energy tips at idahopower.com/save.
And we're back here. Anthony Walters being the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the second for the Boise Hawks. Walters, as mentioned earlier, was able to drive in the very first 2 runs for the Boise Hawks in the last game with that 2 RBI single.
Yeah, Walter's been great for us. Already won walk-off. Still debated in the clubhouse of whether it was a double or a home run.
Exactly. In the, from this side, it was really dark, and I kind of called it do you remember that dress? The black and blue and the white and gold?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like that, whereas, some people saw it go right over the wall, some people saw it hit the wall, and if I'm going to be honest, that one hit
Hard.
liner right to the third baseman. Right first out
Number
there.
one, yep.
But with that hit, I watched the replay of it on the broadcast, and I swear, every single time I watched it, it was a different ending. With, one time I would watch it, it'd be over the wall. The next play, it would hit the Albertson sign. It was crazy.
Still debated in the clubhouse, man. No one can figure it out. Some guys claim that the left or center fielder pocketed it, and that ball is hit over on the first pitch. That's going to be a unassisted play by the first baseman for the second out.
And just like that, now we're getting Marcelo to step in the box there. 2 outs, no runners on.
See if you can extend a short inning right now. We got 2 outs on I think 3 or 4 pitches. We're looking to extend right here. So,
what do you think's going through Marcelo's mind here at this at bat? Facing 2 outs, no runners on.
I think now he's 1-0. He's ahead in the count. He's looking for something to drive in the gap or just hit really hard. And he's great at that, man. He's been pretty consistent in his spread, hitting the ball up the middle as that slider's in there for a strike at 82 miles an hour on the outside corner for even up the count at 1-1. Yeah, just looking for something to drive here in the gap, get an extra base hit, put a guy in scoring position, give Minder a chance, who's on deck right now, to drive him in, trade places. Fouled off, counts 1-2.
And Marcelo, he ended up joining the team in the very last pick of the Pioneer Baseball League draft this season. In his very first at-bat, he was able to drive in a 2-run homer, driving in Walter's home in the exhibition series against the Black Sox.
Yep, that ball's fouled off to the left side. No, he's great. He was a great pick for us, man. He's super physical. Great. He's got many tools. He's got power. He's got speed. He tracks balls really well in the outfield. He's made a few phenomenal plays in the outfield, laying out for a couple, sacrificing his body. That fastball at 93 is going to even up the count at 2-2.
Yeah, I remember yesterday he probably had one of the best catches in the right field, having a backhanded catch. Able to record that out there.
Yeah, it kind of got spun around. That's a tough play, man, because it's running away from you, and you start on one side of it, you think you have a better play on the other, and you just made a great jump and play to kind of save that inning. That's going to be a hit up the middle. A 2-out single by Marcelo. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Get a guy on, extend the inning, give an experienced guy like Minder a chance to drive him in. If not drive him in, just keep the inning going with hits.
Yeah, and Minder been pretty reliable on the plate, batting .333 at this point in the season. And Minder takes a high fly foul ball. Hits the guard in there.
That ball was skied. Big hack for him. I'm okay with that, Guy on first with 2 outs. If you're going to score him, it's got to be something that's really deep and it's going to get by an outfielder. He took a hack appropriate for it. Picked over. Marcelo.
Showing his chain a little bit there.
Oh, yeah. Quick as a cat, though. Marcelo's not taking the bait. There's a single to the right side.
And there we go.
Marcelo rounding second, going to hit the brakes.
Hits the brakes.
Yep. So we got first and second, 2 outs. Guy in scoring position. And looks like Kenny coming up.
Now we'll see how Oyama is able to, if he's able to continue this string of hits so far, hopefully potentially getting that scoring run on second there.
Yeah, He's been the guy to do it, man. Again, he sticks to his approach, which is, hey, let's just get something in the outfield, give our guy at second who's got wheels and Marcelo a chance to score. You know, if he gets something that's handleable, he's going to do just that.
Oyama, coming from UCLA, he played 4 years at LMU. He ended up playing with Matt Volker. And talking to Volker and Oyama, that was one of the deciding factors for Volker to join the team this season, was that he played with Oyama previously. He ended up playing with Beza in Frederick, and ultimately, already had the chemistry.
Oh,
and
that's driven in the left center gap.
And they were able to make the play there.
Left fielder's going to run that down. That's just another example, man. Kenny's not trying to do too much there, but he hits the ball real hard to left center field. Just great play by left fielder to track it down in the gap.
And Denzero able to make the catch there and retire the side as we now head into the third inning of play here for this week's Game of the Week so far here at Memorial Stadium. We'll be back after these short messages. And welcome back here in the top of the third. Brian Denzero, who's able to make that catch in left field to retire the side for the Boise Hawks. Catching a deep fly ball from Oyama with runners on there. Seeing if he's able to record a hit here.
Good first pitch changeup there by Gav. He's been really good so far at establishing that strike zone with all of his pitches, throwing it any count he wants. Really like that pitch right there, left on right changeup for a strike. And there's a slider. Make it 0-2.
And Gurel, he ended up starting at the Boise State team prior to its unfortunate end there. He was one of the players that Gary was able to recruit, but unfortunately after the whole team ended up getting disbanded there, ended up getting on the Boise Hawks.
Yeah, it's real unfortunate what happened with those guys, man. You know, they work so hard to fight to get their program back going, and COVID just kind of took the air right out of it. I feel for those guys, but I'm glad they're here. Good 0-2 changeup right there by Gavs to make it 1-2.
Yeah, I know one of the players on the team who originally went to my high school, Pascal Siakam. He ended up going to Boise State. He committed there, and right after he committed, the team ended up, going under, and he ended up having, the opportunity to go to Seattle, but some of those players didn't. That one's another strikeout from Gavin Gurel.
That's right. Yeah, his pitch right now is working with those righties is that changeup, man. He can throwing it early in counts. He's throwing it late in counts. He's making it look like a fastball late in counts, and hitters just are taking bait, and he's been really, really good with his. Again, his zone is pretty well established. We're only in the third here. So we have another first pitch changeup for a strike. That's just his bread and butter right now.
Both teams seeing some pretty great pitching so far. Only 3 hits from both teams collective. Boise Hawks were able to get those 3 hits. Unable to drive in any runs, though.
That one swung and missed. 86 up in the zone, make it 0-2. He's putting himself in the driver's seat. Yeah, no, their arm's good too. He's been 89, 92. I think he hit a 93. Yeah, we're stringing together some hits though. You know, he looks like he's relying on that fastball. That one's poked out to the right side over the bullpen into the beer garden for a foul ball. Staying at 0-2 here.
One of the things I like to do during the broadcast is count all the souvenir balls that the fans are able to luckily have. That was the very first one so far. So far, we've only had 6 as the most so far in the previous games.
Yeah, no, it's always good to see a kid have a ball. I remember,
that one driven in the gap, left center field. Let's see who's able to make the catch there. And it gets to Jorgensen.
Yep. Shallow left center, kind of got in on his hands. Jorgie made a great read coming in, and you know, with how Jorgie moves, that was no problem.
Yeah, and it was kind of in that weird spot there where all 3 of the players could have made a catch, you know, could have made the play there with Binder closing in on it and Oyama from center field kind of going down on that one.
Yeah, again, Jorgensen's wheels are just great, and he got a great jump on it. That first pitch looked to be in. I think that was a slider in. Might have been a changeup.
Yeah, and Jorgensen heading into his 3rd season so far with the Boise Hawks. He has the franchise record so far for hits. Some really great feat for a player who's been able to establish himself in his 3 years here.
If there's a Pioneer League Hall of Fame, he's in it. He's been great.
That one. Let's take a little bit of a check there.
Yeah, brush back. So we're 3-0 with two outs again here. You know, getting behind with 2 outs, we want to end that at bat as soon as possible. So he's just gonna be in the zone here to try to finish an at bat, finish an inning. Yeah, that's a walk, 4-pitch walk for Nerea. Back to the top of the order, we got Feltz coming up.
Now Feltz facing a 2-out situation, runner on now on first with that walk. In his previous at bat, he struck out to start the game. Let's see if he's able to record his first hit here.
Well, that's fisted over to Gill. Got to be quick with it, and he's safe. Yeah. With Feltz's speed, Gill didn't have a chance there just because, you know, he just moved so well. I was half expecting him to bunt for a hit right there to kind of just get on, but, you know, that's one for the pitcher. You got to shrug your shoulders. You know, he made a great pitch. It just found the perfect spot for a guy that's got real good speed and made it to first over there. So got 2 outs, first and second. We're gonna end an at bat here and get in that dugout so we can go hit.
And Skelly taking time here, adjusting his helmet. Now Sal Gazzo from Wallingford, Connecticut, comes from a baseball family. He has actually a twin, Paul Gazzo, who played in the minor league circuit. His dad was also made to the big leagues, played for 4 teams.
That's how I know that name. That's right. First pitch fastball in, kind of a front door 2-seam right there.
Did anyone else in your family play baseball?
You know, I was the only one. You know, shout out to my dad. He was a player of the year in the 80s. He played basketball at Cresswell High School in the early to mid 80s. Oh, that pickoff attempt over there, but it's going to get into the outfield, skip away. It's going to advance runners to second and third, and looks like
Minder's slow to get up there.
Minder got a little bit shaken up on that daylight read, and I think he's all right though. He's a tough kid.
Yeah, Minder, he ended up getting injured in the very first exhibition game. He had a quick sub in at that exhibition game against the Black Sox. Kaler was able to fill a spot at the 9.
Gavin back working in the windup here with 2 outs and a guy in second and third. He's been able to work really well in the windup so far, so he's going to stick with that, give himself the best chance to end this inning. That's going to miss in, though, so that's 2-0. Ball boy's going to run some balls in, give Gavin a chance to breathe here and just execute a pitch. You know, he's got to really stick to his plan here, just keep executing pitches, keep playing catch with him and Skelly. He'll be all right.
You know, the pressure is on a little tiny bit. You know, he was smoothing a little bit, having the first 2 outs in the very first 2 batters, and then quickly facing this 2 runners in scoring position situation here. Still 2 outs though. Just needs to, deliver the correct pitches.
Yeah, he just got to stick with his plan. You know, he got a strike under his belt now. He got a great infield behind him. He just got to keep executing pitches. The ball is going to find a guy in the infield. Slider's going to miss out. It's going to be a 3-1 count. Here's the pitch. That is a strike on the inside corner, 87.
Full count here.
That's a great pitch right there. He's just got to throw his best pitch right here, 3-2. He's got to throw it for a strike. Not trying to get a punch out necessarily, although that'd be great. He's just trying to end an at-bat here. Here it is. Yeah, swings and misses with that fastball in the outer half. That's going to do it. Great job.
Able to leave those 2 runners on, third and second there as we head into the bottom of the third here at the player game of the week so far at Memorial Stadium here. We'll be back.
Plans serve members with ease. There's one health plan that serves members with these.
Pacific Source, this is Jay.
Pacific Source Health Plans, going beyond what's required to put members first.
And welcome back here, Memorial Stadium, for the game of the week. So far in 2.5 innings, both teams remain scoreless. Although both teams remain scoreless, they were both able to get their hits. The Ogden Raptors were able to record their very first hit that last inning of play there. Only 1 hit to their team name so far. Boise Hawks with Cole Kaler leading off. 3 hits, 1 error so far.
I'd love to see Kaler ambush a first pitch fastball right here. Oh, nope. That ball's down in the dirt. 1-0.
Kaler, in his very first time in the leadoff spot, filling in for Oyama, he was able to drive on the very first pitch he saw and able to get that leadoff double.
That's over the right side. That is fair ball. He's going to get into second. There's going to be a throw, but he is... Oh, no. He's going to beat it. Wow, he's going to beat it. Look at that.
Looks like the shortstop might have gotten the tag, but they're calling it safe at second there with the extra bases.
Oh, their manager's going to come out. He's not happy at all. He's talking to that in one of those infield umpires.
Now
he's letting him have it.
Let him have it.
He's in his face right now.
Now Beecham returning back to his team's dugout. Not very happy there.
Yeah. Cash Beauchamp, the manager, not happy at all with that play. It looked like the throw did beat him, but he just must have missed the tag. He must have got in there ahead of the tag. So that's going to be a leadoff double. That's going to bring up Ray Gill, who, like I said before, is due for that big hit. I'm going to correct myself. That's Beecham, not Beauchamp. I was going off straight pronunciation. So sorry about that, Skip. That slider's
That
going to
one-
get away. That's going to advance Kaler to third. So we got 1-0 with no outs and a guy on third. So it puts ourselves in a pretty good spot right now, and it looks like Beecham's coming out to talk to his pitcher right now. Maybe trying to tone things down a little bit after a little bit of fire, or try and calm things down.
Still looks a little heated there.
Yeah.
He kind of stormed a little bit to the mound. Does not look happy. Now Kaler and Van Toll talking it over at the third base there.
It looked like it might have been a cross-up because it looked like the catcher was late to get his glove to it. It might have been that he called something else and he actually ended up throwing a slider, and it just got away from him. So he wasn't too happy right there.
Now Gil, head of the count so far. 1 ball, no strikes, no outs.
Great opportunity for him to drive something
That
in.
one holds off Kaler.
Turn it up a little bit at 94, so maybe a little frustrated from that pitch before, just getting it out. Hitters count here, 2-0. Got a guy in third. He's looking to do damage here, put something real hard in the outfield, get a guy home. Infielders are playing in. 2-0 slider, great pitch for a strike there.
Now let's see. Is able to drive anything in the gap or record a hit here that would bring in the very first run of this game.
Yeah, a hit'll do it. That'll keep a guy on with no out or no outs. That'd be great. He's probably looking to do damage here in the air. That ball is in, 94 mile an hour. Pitch is going to miss in, so big time count. 3-1 here. He's looking to find something to hit real hard.
Interesting fact about Gil, he's faced quite a bit of 3-1 hits here up to this point.
Yeah, 3-1 counts. He's
He's been the king of it so far. Holds off on that one.
That's
Runners on the corners. And even with that run potential on third, there's still no outs. So even if Boise here decides that he wants to hit something high and deep, he still has that sac fly opportunity there.
Yeah, this is one of those situations. I'm not so sure we would trade a double play for a run, because we got no outs and, he can hit the ball really hard in the air here. I think more than anything, again, we're looking to drive something in the air here. At a minimum, get a sac fly, potentially advance Gil. That ball's driven down the line. It's going to be foul into the bullpen. Great play over there by, looks like, Blake McFadden.
Do you think there's any possibility that they end up sending Gil? Trying to
create a little bit of pressure with no outs with a pitcher that's struggling a little bit. I could see it, but the priority here is to score that run at third. So swing and a miss there, make the count 0-2.
And so far, the team's shown some very aggressive base running so far, having quite a few steals in the previous games, showing it in the ones that they weren't able to get them recorded.
Yeah, well, we got a lot of confidence in our guys to steal bags.
Takes another hack there.
That's gonna be
Out on 3 strikes.
Yep, that's gonna be a 2-strike changeup. Real good pitch.
And now Skelly, power hitter here.
So this is a situation right here, Adam, where now that we have an out, this would be a good situation for Gil to steal a base here, or maybe a hit and run, just to keep Gil out of that double play in case a ball is on the ground, kind of up the middle with those middle infielders ranging back. That's still going to get a run home. If he steals and he has the ability to get to second to kind of maintain that inning, catcher's going to step off, or call time, call first and third.
And Skelly has to be a little bit cautious of hitting something very shallow into infield. That happened in yesterday's game where the potential run on third, Oyama, was tapped out there. He was on that third base line and was caught in a pickle there after fielder's choice hit. I think it was by Gil, the previous game.
Yeah, again, I mean, the priority here is at third to get that run home, so something in the air in the outfield fairly deep will do it. That changeup's going to be down. Even up the count 1-1 for Skelly.
Sean Skelly from Mission Viejo, California.
Yep, Southern California boy. A lot of sunshine down there. I actually grew up in Southern California.
Oh, really?
North of Los Angeles in Ventura County. That's going to be a slider for a strike, so we got a 1-2 count here. Yeah, no, it's beautiful down there, and the perks of all of the California guys, growing up is they get to play year round because the weather stays pretty much, pristine baseball playing conditions.
Yeah, I was born and raised in that Southern California area, a little bit south of Los Angeles, though.
Oh, very
about
cool.
40 minutes away. Yeah,
Where was that at?
I was in Rancho Cucamonga.
Oh, you're in Rancho. Okay,
Yeah.
very cool. Yeah, I was from Oak Park, Agora Hills area.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I was there until 8th grade when I moved up to Eugene, Oregon. So
Yeah, I saw one of the pitchers of the Raptors, Adam Scoggins. I believe he was their relief pitcher yesterday. He actually played in the Quakes, and when I saw that, I was a little excited.
Oh yeah, the RC Quakes.
Yeah, they're my my team growing up. Absolutely love watching those games. Got me introduced to baseball. If it wasn't the Quakes, it's the Angels Quakes, going back and forth there.
Oh yeah, minor league baseball in the summer, especially we have the Eugene Emeralds, which they're high for the Giants.
Yep.
It's great to go to those games. Hill's going to move, and that's exactly what you're looking for. Deep fly ball to center field. Kaler's going to tag. Ray's going to go back to third, and Kaler's going to score. That's exactly what you're looking for right there. Great at bat by Skelly. Great team at bat. Get a run home there.
And just like that, we have the very first run driven in here in the bottom of the third for the Boise Hawks. 1-0 game here. And now, already having, that early lead, still has that potential with the runner on first. Anthony Walters now stepping up. 2 outs, though. He's the Viper Bats there for today's game. Designated hitter. Played right field in the previous games so far in the series.
It's going to be in there for 85. It's going to look like a changeup for first pitch strike from Orta.
Anthony Walters. He played in the Rockies organization last season. He's now here with the Boise Hawks in his very first season.
Yep, great player. Super scrappy. Has a great swing. Hits the ball really hard.
He's able to show his power in his first couple of at-bats for a season.
That's
He's
going to
able
be
to hit that
shallow
one.
left, and that's
Right
going
in
to
the gap.
settle. Ray Gill with a great read. He's going to advance to third with no throw. We got first and third with 2 outs. So hoping we can extend the inning and make some magic here with 2 outs.
And Walters, he's able to, hone it in the BP prior to this game. He was hitting it all over the field prior.
I'm not so sure he was hitting it all. He was more so hitting it over the field. He was hitting it over the fence.
Yeah.
He was hitting bombs in batting practice. Not that necessarily equates to what we're doing.
No, just keying in, getting familiar.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. He's great. He's great.
Not like you're going to see, 82 mile per hour curveballs at
Yeah, in
BP.
batting practice.
Now running into the corners for Jorgensen here.
Jorgie's second time right there. He's been hunting that first pitch. That one looked like a slider.
He had a ground out in his last plate appearance in the second. Looking to secure his very first hit here. And a hit here would potentially get that second run across home with Gill at third.
Yep.
And that one doesn't stay fair.
Nope. Driven
It's
down the left field line.
top of the Coors Light Pavilion deck there at Memorial Stadium. Bounces on the purple canopies there.
Maybe a fan got a little souvenir in his Coors Light.
Yeah, and now you mentioned that one, number 2
Yeah.
of the game.
Yeah, splashdown.
No, that was one of the favorite memories that I had, I don't know about you when you were growing up in the minor league games, getting those foul balls, being able to get those souvenirs.
Yeah, I'd take it back whenever we're signing balls or anything for those kids. The kids that get the balls, man, that's awesome. It's great to see kids that because they value that so much. It's professional baseball, and they look up to us, and we love providing a good time for those guys. That slider's going to miss in to even up the count at 2-2.
And that could be their very first time they're exposed to baseball, and if they're able to get that, they're able to create that everlasting memory. I remember the very first time I was able to secure a foul ball, and I still have that on my desk up to this day.
There he is.
And just like that, the second run is driven in. Gil able to cross home
off that Tyler Jorgensen single to the right side through the 4-hole. That's what I love about Jorgie is he's with his plan, man. He never tries to hit home runs. He just tries to he's hard contact, hard line drives, hits the ball where it's pitched. He's very good at hitting the ball to the opposite field too. Has a lot of singles so far in that kind of that front to the left center.
That one accounts for his 10th RBI.
His managers
as Beecham is
in the grill of the umpire. Not so sure what happened here.
The ump is just taking it. He's just sitting there. Beecham.
I'm not so sure that. Oh, he was ejected. He must have been ejected because you can't spike a helmet. Oh, he's throwing the. Oh man.
And he's grabbing.
Oh, he's putting on a show for you folks.
Puts it right over home plate there.
He's saying, yes. I'm going to go with these. Beecham's claiming that the home plate umpire is not calling balls and strikes like he should be, and now he's in the grill of
the third base umpire there.
Third base umpire. He is not a happy camper, folks.
Now the ball boy having to pick up that. Is that the on deck little mat there? Is he still giving it to the umpire there? He's holding it into the infield there. He had a call for backup there for the first base ump. Takes his helmet there.
So, folks, a little delay, and basically we didn't see the ejection because we were having a sentimental conversation, but that got turned into something pretty ugly. He was ejected by the home plate umpire, I can only assume, and he let him have it. He got his money's worth. Man, oh man.
Now, following that interesting chain of events there, we're now Marcelo facing a 2-out situation here with runners on first and second.
He pulled that. He threw his skull cap. Man. He pulled something right out of our manager, Gary Van Tol's playbook right there with throwing the skull cap at Idaho Falls. Oh, that's going to be a slider in there for a first pitch strike. 0-1 to Marcelo.
Marcelo, he ended up playing in Duluth previously, and according to the Idaho Falls broadcaster who ended up working for Duluth, he said the very first at-bat that he had was a grand slam. How's that power?
Early winnings, man. He did it for us, too.
Yeah. And Marcelo, I feel like it's a hard time not to cheer for him because I was lucky enough to have the opportunity to have a conversation with him, and he was just so excited just to be out here. Sometimes in the Pioneer League, some players just, feel a little lost, but he was really excited to be out here. He ended up saying that he felt like he wasn't supposed to be here, but he's so grateful for all the steps that he's able to take to get here, and, it's very hard to, not root for a player that feels that way.
No, I love Marcel. He came in here confident as can be. Proud of his roots he's from the Bay Area. Loves being a Northern California kid. Really proud of his roots. And he grinds, man. He just plays flat out hard. That's what I love about him. Two pitch coming in. That's going to be grounded to the right side, handled by the first baseman over there to end the inning.
Taps the plate there at first, and just like that, we are heading into the top of the fourth, but after the Boise Hawks were able to drive in 2 runs there. And we'll be back in the game of the week here at Memorial Stadium after this short break.
Me, Bob the Money Tree Caterpillar. You know what? Your early payments to interest, and it takes forever to make a dent in the principal. Don't wait. .com to learn about the Money Tree installment loan today. That's moneytreeinc.com.
With water, fire, or mold damage. Pursuit Restoration is Idaho's premier master water and fire restorer company. We are a 24/7 emergency provider. Our technicians can be dispatched within 45 minutes from the first call. We are a full-service contractor who can provide the cleanup process and full rebuilds to make your property look like new. Many times, we can even find options to update and upgrade if needed. Your home is your happiness. Let Pursuit Restoration help restore it.
And welcome back to the game of the week here at Memorial Stadium. The Boise Hawks were able to take a quick lead in that previous inning. 2 runs driven in so far for the Boise Hawks. They have 2 runs on 6 hits, 1 error so far. One of the biggest headlines for the Boise Hawks so far is their pretty clean play. They, up to this point, have had only 8 errors so far, leading the Pioneer League.
Yeah, we're playing really high-level defense. Really high-level defense right now that always gives our guys a chance to win.
Yeah, and last game they were able to have a clean slate there with no errors. They had 4 in the previous game in the doubleheader. As Grell facing that 1-1 now. And leading off here, Teixeira. We mentioned a little bit earlier, he's one of the more successful hitters for the Ogden Raptors so far in this series. He had a home run previously in this series as well. In his previous at-bat, he had a ground out.
3-1 count here. Gavin's working a little fast. Needs to throw a strike here.
It's that one.
Ball's driven out to center, but reeled in.
Oyama.
Kenny Oyama.
An F8 there to record the first out there.
Lexi 80's coming in to hit now. Folks, what you may have missed last half inning, the Ogden Raptors skipper got ejected, to say the least. Got his money worth, spiked his helmet, covered up the plate.
Beecham had a really great showing. They ended up calling backup as he, gave it to the home plate umpire, ended up advancing, going off on the third base umpire. While yelling at that third base umpire. He had to call in the first. So he had a little bit of action with all 3 umpires for this game so far.
Yeah, but he's going to get ahead 0-2 here, which is huge. Yeah, I know. He covered up the plate a la Brad Osmus or Davey Martinez and got his money's worth. He got in the face of multiple umpires. And that's a slider. Swing and a miss. Buried. Skelly for the putout.
And the second out there. Fourth strikeout for Gurel so far. Left-handed pitcher. Having some success so far. Leaving the Raptors scoreless for the previous 3 full innings heading in the 4th here. Only 1 hit so far.
That's a slider for a strike. Gavin worked really quick here, which I really like. In a situation when the manager gets ejected to that capacity, Part of it is to fire up his squad, but Gurrell not letting that happen. He's working very quick. His pace is really good. He's ahead of counts. That's going to be 0-2 immediately. He's working fast, and I love it. We got an 0-2 count with 2 outs here. Him looking to end the half inning and get back in the dugout. That one a changeup missed in.
A little too low there.
Yep.
You know, and speaking on the pitching for the Boise Hawks, we've had 2 pitchers so far go 7 innings deep. We had Volker do it previously in the doubleheader, only going for that shortened game, all 7 innings there. Able to keep them scoreless as well. Matt Gabbert.
That's a good swing right there. That's going to be a 2-strike out to left. Jorgensen's going to...
Right at the feet of Jorgensen there.
Yep, he's going to throw it in there. So 2-out single by Bouchard. Williams coming in now.
Quickly falling behind the count here, Gurrell.
That ball's in there. Fastball for a strike at 87. Even up the count at 1-1. And that's going to be another strike. Looks like a buried slider right there. It's going to make the count 1-2. And the at-bat, that's going to be the priority on this pitch. Let's get out of the inning.
And Williams, up to this point, still looking for his very first hit so far.
But he's not going to get it.
Just like that, the 5th strikeout from Gavin Gurrell ends the top of the 4th here. And the game of the week here at Memorial Stadium will be back heading into the bottom of the 4th as the Boise Hawks look to extend their lead so far.
Expedition team is heading into the great outdoors to bring the magnificent beauty of the Pacific Northwest into our homes. Rada's color experts pick and pair their discoveries into new nature-inspired palettes, creating a new line of timeless colors that represent where we live and making it easy for you to choose the perfect colors to enhance your home's interior and exterior.
It's the Cascadia line of designer colors available exclusively at Rada Paint.
And welcome back here as we head into the bottom of 4th here. Trevor Minder leading off for the Boise Hawks. In his previous at-bat up to this point, he had a single, looking to extend his hitting here. And looking at some of the promotions here at Memorial Stadium, we have our very first NIL appearance. Genevieve Crenshaw, the goalkeeper for the Boise Hawks women's soccer team, made her appearance, was giving signatures on game programs to lucky fans here, and was able to deliver the very first pitch, ceremonial first pitch. And it was a pretty solid pitch, straight down the middle of the heart of the plate there. As Minder fouls off that one, our third souvenir ball for today's game. There's another foul tip there. Still 1-2 count. And that one's another souvenir ball for some of the fans there, hitting in the exact same direction in that first base seating. Makes contact there, but unable to drive anything in. Even count here, 2-2. Along with Genevieve Crenshaw's appearance, there is the very first Firework Friday here at Memorial Stadium. So if you are a fan of fireworks, make sure to stay after the game here and watch those be lit. We also had our pregame concert series where we had some local live bands playing in the garden here to give some fans a show prior, some live music. As Minder takes his plate there. Yama now in, the second hitter here after Minder was walked. He had a single in his very first plate appearance and hit a fly as he hit another seemingly fly there to the left field. It's a pretty accurate throw.
Yeah, trying to take advantage of the fact that Minder vacated first, went pretty far over to second, and they got some good arms out there, that's for sure, left and right. Kaler coming up now.
In his previous play appearance, he had a double, and in the very first inning of play, he had a walk. So, looking to extend, his dominance in the box so far. Holds his arm out to Minder there, telling him to hold off. I got this here.
It's going to be a slider in for a strike to even up the count at 1-1.
And we've mentioned this a little bit as the Boise Hawks have a little bit on the line, earlier on the season in this series. As this game, with both teams now tied at 6-3 with the record, have the opportunity to go either way, with both teams having the opportunity to take an early lead in the South.
Yep. Oh, he rolls over.
That one. Potential double play. And the throw not in time in the second for the shortstop.
One of those plays where first baseman's going to kind of get that ball close to the bag. He's going to take the out regardless, knowing there's going to be two. The only thing that's going to score that runner at Minder at second is going to be a base hit. So they're going to roll the dice and play the odds. That was the right play.
And Gill still looking for his very first hit here. He was walked in his last plate appearance. Two outs here. Runner on second. Takes his time there.
That's going to be a Not a disengagement, but a time called by the catcher Williams right there, so that's 1. Ball's in.
And that advances Minder.
Minder's going to skip on over to third.
And now that insurance run just 90 feet away.
Yep, absolutely. Now anything through the infield or any hit at all is going to score him regardless, and hopefully it'll turn into an extra base hit that'll get another guy in scoring position with 2 outs. Give Bays a chance to capitalize and keep things going.
And Gill, he ended up making the transition to second base this season. He played primarily third in the last season with the Hawks, and ultimately, by the end of the season, started to go into the second position. Now Gill into the count here. 2-0.
2-1 slider, hitting that kind of low outer half for strike 1.
And Gill, up to this point, batting about .310 up to this point. His on-plate percentage is .777. Even count here.
Even count here, 2-2. The kick, that's going to be a fastball missing on the outer half.
Full count here now. Facing the 6th pitch of this at-bat.
Big pitch here. Looking for Gill to capitalize on something in the zone and get a hit and score a guy. And it's going to be flared deep into the 6 hole, and the shortstop is going to reel it in, and that is going to do it for the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, we will be back here as we head into the top of the 5th, an extra inning here in the game of the week here at Memorial Stadium.
Alrighty, folks, we're getting in the top of the 5th here. Gavin Girl's been steady cruising.
Yeah,
Establishing that zone early. A lot of strikes. A lot of good pace. That's going to be a first pitch changeup, swung at and missed.
Yeah, he's only allowed 2 hits so far. Heading in the, a little bit deeper in this game. the 5th inning of play here.
Yep, he's been giving us a chance all game. 0-1. Slider just missing on that outer half. Real good pitch there. Even up the count at 1-1 here to left fielder Brian Danzero. Another slider kind of over that left-handed batter's box. For that second ball, counts 2-1 here. That's going to be grounded over to Kaler with the strong throw to Beza. That's going to be the first out. So we got a 5-3 right there.
A little quick out there. Now facing the next hitter here, Ray Barnes. The designated hitter for today's game for the Ogden Raptors. Last game, he was only able to record 1 hit. That one hit, though.
That ball's driven in the right center gap. That's going to get down, and it's going to go to the wall.
Extra bases there.
Yep. Oyama's going to chase it down, get it in. He's going to be standing up at second for a 1-out double. And that's going to bring up the 9-hitter, the second baseman, Rafael Nerea. Nerea walked last at bat. Burrell sets and fires.
It's a little bit of a struggle so far in the season, having an average of 125. Hoping to get something going here.
Burrell with that first pitch changeup for a strike. He's been really relying on that. He's been doing a great job with it. Skelly with a great frame, but home plate umpire's not going to bite. It's going to even up the count at 1-1. Beautiful time of night here. This is kind of when that sun starts getting out of the eyes of people, and you get that light blue sky starts turning into dark blue and fading. As that changeup's going to catch the outer half of the plate. Nerea not happy with that call. Regardless, it's going to be strike 2. Count's going to be 1-2 with 1 out. With Landon Barnes still at second base. Ready for that 2-strike pitch here. There it is, and it's going to be swung on and missed. Great slider in the dirt for second out of the inning.
6th strikeout here for Gurrell as we now return to the top of the lineup with Feltz.
Again here, Feltz' biggest weapon is his speed, as you saw that on that kind of fisted infield hit to the right side earlier.
Yeah, he's 1 of 2 so far. Had a strikeout in his very first play appearance, the very first at-bat of the game. Recorded a hit in the 3rd with a single. Still looking for that very first run here so far for the Raptors. Trying to get on the scoreboard here.
Skelly's going to come out and talk to Gurrell here, and basically what he's saying right here, Adam, is just, hey, you got 2 outs. Been a few counts now with 2 outs that we've gotten behind. Let's just attack this guy. Let's lower our pitch count. Let's get in the dugout. That's kind of what the conversation is. It's just like, hey, you and me, we're going to play catch right here.
Pitch clock resets. Back to 20.
Gurrell poised and composed out there. Looking like his old self. 1-0 pitch coming in. It's going to be swung at and missed. A slider inside. Good pitch right there from Gurrell.
Now, there's a little bit of changes in the Pioneer League to some of the rules. As you can see, a little bit prominent is the little pie slice there in the middle of the diamond there. Do you have any thoughts on that as a pitcher?
Slider in for strike 2. Yeah, so that basically is a marker to. It's the shift rule. The shift change rule is a certain place that an infielder can't go past. So you see Gill on the right side of that right line, and Mender ranging over towards the 6 hole on that left. to shift. They just can't break that territory as Gurrell tries to backdoor a slider and misses. Even up the count at 2-2 here to Cameron Feltz. Just preventing those infielders from moving over to play to a hitter's strengths in like a pull shift. That's going to be up the middle, and that's going to be a hit. That is going to score.
Landon Barnes, able to cross home plate there for the very first run for the Ogden Raptors. That one grazed the leg of Gurrell as it bounced right off the mound, heading into the center field.
He hit that hard up the middle, and that's going to bring up Gazzo. Sal Gazzo is aforementioned, long line of lineage of baseball in his family. His father played in the big leagues. His brother was a minor league baseball player, as well as himself. A lot of talent coming out of that family. It's going to be a fastball for a strike, even up the count at 1-1. 2 outs here. They're all looking to minimize damage. Looks in at Feltz, who's stealing. Swing and a miss. The throw is not going to be in time, so that's a stolen base for Cameron Feltz. But a swing and a miss. So it puts Gazzo in a hole, 1-2.
Now that runner in scoring position here, with the potential game-tying run there. Still 2 outs.
But if I'm Gavin here, I'm sticking to my plan. And there it is.
Able to minimize damage there.
There's their breaking ball, and that's going to be a punch out to end the inning. That's number 7 for Gavin. And they're going to go hit.
And just like that, we will be heading into the bottom of the 5th here. The Boise Hawks still able to hold on to their 1-run lead here as the game of the week heads in a 2-1 game here, as we'll be back after a short break.
Keeping good energy in the room. From his wood-burning hobby to practicing good energy smart habits, like sealing around doors and windows to save energy.
Why burn money?
More good energy tips at idahopower.com/save.
There's members with these.
Pacific Source, this is Jake.
Pacific Source Health Plans, going beyond what's required to put members first.
Alrighty. So we're back in action here at the bottom of the 5th. Alex Beza leading off. Just got an announcement for assistant coach for the Boise Hawks. Aaron Sutton, inducted in the Northwest Athletic Conference Hall of Fame. Played for Treasure Valley. Very good for him as Beza drives us deep to left field, but it's going to be hauled in by the left fielder Danzero for the first out.
And Aaron Sutton had his birthday yesterday.
That's right. Pretty good day for him. See, 2 days. He was inducted in the NWAC Hall of Fame, and it was his birthday. So, little shout out to you, Sutty. Happy birthday, and congratulations on your induction. That's wonderful. Well deserved.
He ultimately shared a birthday yesterday with a couple other left-handed pitchers for the team, very first one, Noah McBride, who was able to make an appearance in the previous game. The other one, Riley
Weidel, yeah, got a big day for the lefties out of the pen. Well, actually, Weidel being a starter, but big day for lefties.
Yeah, it was a little funny. Talking to Noah, I asked if it was his birthday, and he said yeah, and he's like, unfortunately, I'm a little bit uglier now that I'm getting a little bit older. And I was like, I don't know if it means that, but...
I can attest he's only getting uglier.
Oh, man.
Counts even 1-1 here to Sean Skelly. He's having a great start to the year. That 91-mile-an-hour fastball is going to paint the outer half for strike 2.
He did have a sac fly earlier in the game. That was the very first run for the Hawks. They were able to capitalize off of that sac fly and get another run driven in, leading to their 2-1 lead.
Yeah, absolutely. It all starts with a really high-quality team at bat, and we've been good for that all year. Alex Baza is another great example of that, just putting together a lot of really high-quality team at bats, sacrificing his out for runs scored, and we've been very unselfish hitters, but we've also done a lot of damage, and combination of those things plus good base running, man, we're going to be pretty lethal.
That one popped high and deep.
High into the infield, but it's going to find the stands behind home plate. Count's going to stay 2-2.
That's the 5th souvenir ball. Getting up on
man. Feels like we were just talking a second ago when we had 1. Now we got 5.
I know. Yeah, Trevor Minder, when you're, in the previous, I think in the bottom of the 4th, he had 2 back-to-back there.
Wow.
Now, just 1 more to tie the current record of 6 from yesterday's game.
It's going to be a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Down and away, out of the zone.
Full count.
Yep.
3-2-1. 3 balls, 2 outs. 2 strikes, 1 out.
For double 4s. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, yeah.
Kicks and deals here. Full count pitch. Skelly's going to ground that to the shortstop. Deep in the 6 hole, ranging over. Good play. Off the bag, but he's going to get a tag as Skelly was moving down the base. And that's going to be the 2nd out of the inning. Good play there.
Yeah, that was an impressive reach from the former Hawk there, Teixeira.
Yeah, Gaza, not a lot of time, even though, Skelly's a base runner there. It was ranged deep into the 6 hole. He had to get rid of it and made the best throw he could, and first baseman picked him up with a good tag right on the knee. Walters is going to jump in here. He's going to take that first pitch slider out of the zone.
Batting a little bit over 400 so far this season.
Yep, as he takes changeup in. Make the count 2-0. Hitters count here. It's dubbed the unofficial nickname for him is Tony Tanks.
Tony Tanks.
I'd like to point out that I made that nickname.
Oh, yeah. Does it stick with other players in the clubhouse?
I don't know. That's why I said unofficial.
Unofficial. All right.
Yeah, not totally sure it's going to catch like fire, but you know what? If it does, I'm the origin.
Tony Tanks, has a ring to it. Has alliteration,
Yeah, it does.
TT.
Absolutely, it has alliteration. 2-1 sliders down, but he swings through it. It's going to even up the count at 2-2. So 2 strikes here with 2 outs. Walters looking to extend the inning by getting on base. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a slider that's hit down the line. It's going to end up foul past the beer garden into the batting cages. So just another baseball we can throw in the bucket for batting practice.
Oh, yeah. No. Able to hone in a little bit there,
Count stays 2-2. Here's the windup in the pitch. And that is going to be swung on and missed. Buried slider. And that is going to end
end the inning here in the game of the week as we head into the top of the 6th here as the Ogden Raptors look to hopefully potentially tie this one up here. And we'll be back.
Hi, it's me, Bob the Money Tree Caterpillar. You know what bugs me? Other installment loans apply most of your early payments to interest, and it takes forever to make a dent in the principal. Don't wait to pay down principal. With a Money Tree installment loan, you'll start paying principal from the start. It's a more principled loan. Visit a nearby Money Tree branch or go to MoneyTreeInc.com to learn about the Money Tree installment loan today. That's MoneyTreeInc.com.
Welcome back here in the top of the 6th. Teixeira leading off here for the Ogden Raptors. In his previous plate appearances, hasn't had a hit to his name so far. He had a ground out in the 1st and a fly ball in the 4th. Here now for the 6th.
Gavin with the first pitch changeup. As said before, he's really been relying on that for a first pitch. You know, it's been over the plate. It's been really good. That one taken down, though, for Teixeira. It's 1-0. Second one coming in. It's going to be a fastball down.
Pretty solid pitching from both teams so far. Both have yet to make a pitching change, with both of them, you know, staying pretty deep so far.
Yeah, both have been pretty effective. Gavin's been really keeping his pitch count down. Slider's going to miss, though, so that's 3-0. Skelly signaling to the dugout. Looks like we got some double barrel action in the Hawks bullpen. It looks like on the left side of that mound, it's going to be number 19, left-handed pitcher Blake McFadden warming up. And on the right, that's going to be number 39, which is Drew Marufo, I believe.
Yeah, Marufo, the first overall pick in that draft. We talked a little bit about the last pick in the draft, Marcelo. Potential for Marufo, the first pick, make an appearance.
Yeah,
that one's walked.
Marufo was a great ad for us. You know, he's going to be a high-velocity guy, you know, sitting in the mid-90s and really good secondary to follow up with it. And we got crafty lefty on the left-hand side, Blake McFadden warming up.
Yeah, McFadden, the Treasure Valley native. He was able to play a little bit for the local high school team, Meridian High.
Well, it looks like we're going to have a pitching change here. And it looks like they're going to go to the righty, Drew Marufo. He's going to come in and relieve Gavin Gorell of his duties. Did a phenomenal job. Very high-quality start for him. Gave us a chance the entire time. He's going to come into the dugout. He's going to get a standing ovation from the very large Friday night crowd here at Memorial Stadium. And we're going to see the righty Drew Marufo.
After 6 strikeouts and 5 full innings pitched, we're getting our first Mr. Mud pitching change to Drew Marufo.
Correction, folks. It's going to be Mike Peterson, number 39, right-hander, coming in. Another great righty. Once again, correction, folks. I led everyone to believe that Drew Marufo is coming in. Number 38. It's actually going to be number 39, Mike Peterson. I was just missing a loop on the bottom of that 9.
Yeah, and, Marufo did make an appearance in the, previous game yesterday. He unable to secure the save there as the Raptors were able to take that 6-5 win. Mike Peterson, so far, he's made 3 appearances. Has 2 losses to his name, unfortunately. He's had 1 save, though. He's pitched 7 innings, allowing 10 hits, 6 runs. He's walked 1 person and had 8 strikeouts.
No, Mike's gonna be a guy that's gonna be in the upper 80s, touching 90, 91, and he's gonna be super efficient. He's gonna be getting outs early in at bats because he eats up the strike zone. As that first pitch at 89 is going to find its way into the strike zone, make the count 0-1 to Alexiades. The 0-1 rolled over to the left side. It's going to be foul and quickly 0-2. Like I said, he's going to eat up the strike zone. He's going to want to end at bats on the pitch he's on. He does a great job of that.
And now, in his first plate appearance, looking for, a pretty great start. Looking to try to get 3 out here. Now, Alexiades from Manhattan, but not the Manhattan that you think.
That's bounced to the shortstop. Minder, play it.
Throw not in time to first. Only able to get that force out at second with Gill. Minder to Gill there.
Yep, Minder to Gill for the 6-4 right there. Not quite able to turn it. But that was the right play to at least try. He was moving down the baseline pretty good. So right away, he got that lead out. Got 1 out with a guy on first and sets up a possible twin killing here.
And that fielder's choice play from Alexiades, still unable to find his first hit as he hit a ground out and struck out.
Yeah, and that's going to be a strike right there.
Pitch clock violation there for Bouchard.
So the count without a pitch is 0-1. Pick over. Close, but he's going to be back in there safe. Good look there to keep him honest. Slider in there for a strike. And we are quickly 0-2.
Yeah, I saw a pickoff attempt the other day, and it was... I forgot who the pitcher was, but they ultimately took off their hat to try to, throw off the runner on first. He took off his hat, made the throw, went over. Unable to get the pickoff, though, but it was a really great attempt.
I saw that same exact play years ago when I was in high school for a left-handed pitcher who played for Rice, and it was actually very close. Sneaky. Us lefties, man.
Yeah.
Keep you on your toes. That fastball at 90 miles an hour fouled off. The count's going to stay 0-2. Peterson looking to end an at-bat, and hopefully the inning here with a ground ball. Backdoor slider for strike 3. It's going to be called strike 3.
Second out.
Much to the dismay of Bouchard, did not agree with that call. Nevertheless, that's going to be the second out of the top of the 6th inning. And coming up now is catcher Luke Williams. Looking to get something going for the Raptors here with 2 outs. Still down by 1. 2-1 ball game in the top of the 6th.
Now Peterson following the steps of Gurrell able to start off the game with that strikeout. Throw way too high for Gill. Unable to get the throw in time there.
Speedy Alexiades is going to steal that base right there. Get himself in a scoring position with 2 outs.
Both pitchers for the Hawks able to start off, their very first plate appearance with a strikeout. Gurrell struck out Feltz in the first, and Peterson getting the confidence a little bit, getting the ball rolling.
It's going to be fouled off the foot of Williams. It's going to even up the count at 1s.
Now calling time here.
Count's going to stay at 1-1 here. Peterson with the pitch. It's going to be down in the zone, 89-mile-an-hour fastball. It's going to make the count 2-1. That's going to be swung on. That's in the dirt. Skelly found it. He's going to keep the runner at second. Even up the count at 2-2. Looking to end the at-bat on this pitch. Gets a sign. Kicks and deals. The 2-2. Ooh. Very, very close pitch there. You can tell Mike really wanted that pitch there. That's going to make it a full count to Williams. And he's ready for the 3-2. Here it comes. And that's grounded. Back to Peterson. But it's going to be called dead and foul off Williams once again.
Still looking for his first hit here. He was a ground out victim in the top of the second and struck out. As I play the Jaws music here for the full count. 2 outs.
There is blood in the water. Hoping to find more of it with this pitch right here by Peterson. It's in. And it's called strike 3. Fastball in the outer half.
Able to call it there as we now head into the bottom of the 6th here in the game of the week here. 2-1 ball game as we look to see more action.
In the sunshine. Everybody loves the sunshine.
Tina is all about keeping good energy in the room. From her happy cats to being good energy smart, like replacing all her bulbs with LEDs. Wave birds. More good energy tips at idahopower.com/save.
And we'll go back here for the game of the week as Tyler Jorgensen looks to lead off here in the bottom of the 6th. His team still having that 1-run advance.
It's been a rubber match. 2-1 in the bottom of the 6th here. These guys have just been dealing. They've been throwing punches. He's going to foul that off his foot and catch it.
A little nifty little action there with the ball.
Yeah, not usually does it hit off your foot, go 20 feet in the air, and then you just catch it. But Jorgensen he's a bad man. That's going to be pulled over to the right side, handled by the first baseman, and that's going to be a 3-1 put out.
No, Orta showing the wheels there.
Yeah.
Pulling it over to the first base line to record that first out, ground out there.
Just a quick reminder that pitchers are athletes, folks.
Oh, yeah. From an unbiased opinion here, of course.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Objectively, pitchers are athletes, or at minimum have the capacity to be athletes.
You know, we are seeing, some pitchers, going from, batting as well. One of the most notable ones in the majors, Ohtani, going 2 ways. We had a couple, and I believe it was Idaho Falls. They had 2 players that were 2-way players.
Yep. If you can walk the walk and you can do it, then it's always impressed me when you can do that at a high level. Ohtani is a specimen, to be able to throw 102 and hit 460-foot home runs. Aren't many humans on planet Earth that can do that, if any, other than him.
Well, it's also really difficult because, obviously I'm talking from an inexperienced standpoint, is that one's into the shallow gap at center. Marcelo in for a hit here. But, talking about the, obviously coming from not a pitcher, I was a football guy, but, with knowing about the, all the work that pitchers have to put in, it's a little bit difficult to, hone in on your pitches and being able to extend your ability to, step in the box and drive something,
Absolutely. No, it's a rare ability that certainly a lot of us don't possess, Having that background, we all hit in high school, but to be able to do it at the professional level is very difficult. It looks like that's going to be the end of the road for pitcher Ronnie Orta.
Had a deep run there. Both pitchers having a pretty deep run here.
Yeah.
And it kind of shows on the scoreboard, 2-1.
Absolutely no. He kept his pitch count low and gave their team a chance, and they're going to see a guy out of the pen right here. I'm going to find out who that is in 1 second.
Looks like a right-handed pitcher. Changing it up a little bit.
The Pioneer League game of the week here on a beautiful, stunning, twilighted Friday night in Boise, Idaho at Hawks Memorial Stadium.
Now Foster Pace getting in for his very first plate appearance here. Foster Pace. He is from Springdale, Arizona. A little bit of a taller pitcher here. He's second tallest on the team at 6'3", 220.
That is a lengthy individual.
Yeah, but talking back a little bit on the on the work that pitchers have to do. During my time in high school, I dated a pitcher for softball, and they were pitching year round. Like, they had no breaks whatsoever, and that's what makes it a little bit difficult to hone in on your at bats.
Oh, absolutely. And softball is a little bit of a different animal. My girlfriend played softball at a high level as well, and pitchers in softball are a different animal because, in layman terms, softball pitchers that throw underhand, that's more of a natural motion than a pitcher in baseball. Underhand, there's not as much stress. You see softball pitchers throw, 150, 200 pitches in an outing or two, and in baseball, you just couldn't do that because of the wear and tear that pitchers have on their arms, just because of that repetitive, unnatural motion. Stepping in the box now.
Trevor Minder.
is Trevor Minder to face Foster Pace for his first batter of the night.
He had a single in his very first plate appearance and was walked in his next. Looking to extend on that.
Absolutely.
Minder, during his time, in the very first couple of games, he wasn't able to record a hit, but he was getting on base. He was able to, stay in, stay poised, and, force those walks. Able to, hold off on those, pesky pitches that, could be, borderline. Able to, get on base.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Touching on that, he's very disciplined at the plate. He's got a very good concept of the strike zone, and he used that to his advantage to get his on-base percentage up, when he can. Now he's hitting .333 with a homer, 9 hits, an OPS of almost 1. He's doing a really good job. Marcelo with the big lead over there at first. It's in the dirt. He's going to scamper back over to first. Count's going to be even up at 1-1. Minder from Springfield, Illinois. I played baseball at Illinois, Chicago, so always good to see someone from the great state of Illinois.
He did, unfortunately, go to Tulane, though.
He did go to Tulane.
Interesting story about Tulane. They just,
Man, oh man.
Ooh.
That's just how postseason baseball works. I think they came in at something
losing
like
record.
19-40,
Yeah.
not even a losing record, a beatdown record,
man.
and they found a way into the tournament.
But that's the beauty of baseball, where a team, you just got to win in the right moments, and they were able to do that.
Absolutely. If you can prove yourself in postseason baseball, which is the time to bow your neck and buck down and get a job done, and they did that. And they, in my eyes, you deserve a spot. If you can do that in postseason baseball when the lights are on and the pressure's up, then you deserve a spot to play with the best. 2-2 pitch in. It's going to be softly grounded to the left side. Third baseman's going to reel it in. That's going to be a 5-3 put out, moving Marcelo over to second base. So we got a runner on second here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Now Oyama facing another at-bat here. In his previous, he had a single to start off the game, and unfortunately he wasn't able to follow that up with 2 flies.
Again, Kenny's puts the ball in play more than most. He always gives us a chance by putting the ball in play. Does not strike out very often.
Yeah, in that exhibition game, he was very close for having a home run. He was about an inch away on that wall. Ended up falling, hitting the wall, and he was in for extra bases as second, but
he's ready to go on that 90-mile-an-hour heater right there, but fouls it off to the left side. Yeah, Kenny not a huge power guy. But, he'll catch one every now and then. He does have sneaky pop. I've seen it. Oh, 1 pitch from Pace coming in here. It's going to be a fastball in. That's going to hit him in the leg, looks like. Oh, I guess not. It's just going to, I must have just
a little bit close out of that one.
Yeah, must have just missed him. Even up the count at 1-1 here.
Kenny at this at-bat received a "Let's go Kenny" from a fan there.
That's going to be a slider on the outer half. So he's going to look to expand the zone here.
Falling a little bit behind there. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Kenny, a fan favorite already here in Boise. Had a lot of people. Big rooting section for him.
Yeah, he was one of the first players I was fortunate enough to talk to in my time here, as he hit that softly to first baseman, tosses it over to Pace, who's able to record that final out here in the game of the week, as we head into another frame here, as the Boise Hawks were retired there, and now we head to the top of the 7th here at Memorial Stadium.
after a really solid 6th frame. He's going to face number 5, left fielder Brian Danzero. First pitch is going to come in. That's a slider for a strike. 0-1 right away. Peterson working very quickly. Good pace. Kicks and deals. Swung at that slider. It's going to make it 0-2. So well ahead right away. Danzero grounded out his last at-bat. Gets a sign. Kicks and deals. Here's the 0-2. That swung on and missed. 3 sliders in a row. Great start to the half right there by Mike Peterson. Following up Danzero, we're going to see number 35, the designated hitter, Landon Barnes. Barnes' last at-bat hit a double in the gap. First pitch, another slider. Checked the swing, he went. Barnes does not agree. Looks like we got Noah McBride, number 40, left-hander, working out in the pen. As Peterson kicks and deals, another slider down. It's going to even up the count at 1-1. And Adam, my counterpart, has returned.
Dude, these fries, man.
With a fresh plate of French fries.
I had them in the... Would you like some?
I'd like to try one of these.
These fries, if I'm going to be honest, at the very beginning of my time broadcasting here, I ended up starting off with the chicken tenders, as you do. And their fries blew me away. I would give them a 10 out of 10, on the rankings. They're absolutely amazing.
I will say, if there's anything Idaho knows anything about that anyone else doesn't, it is potatoes.
Yeah,
and they do a great job with their fries. Wow, those are good. Those are mighty good.
And, it is a little fitting because the Boise Papas Fritas will be making their very first appearance during this series. They'll be making it on Sunday, June 4th.
There you go. So the fries we're eating will be the fries you see on our jerseys.
Oh, yeah. What do you think about the Papas Fritas jerseys?
I love them. That ball's fly it off to the right side. Beza looking, but that's going to end up out of play short of the beer garden. Make it another souvenir.
Oh, yeah. There we go. We at 6. Woo.
We're still keeping count, folks. Yeah, I like the Fritas jersey. We haven't worn. I have not worn them yet. I think it's the only jersey I haven't worn, but I love the baby blue. Absolutely. I love the baby blue. I've always adored baby blue.
Yeah, I was talking to Beza, and that was his actual favorite.
That ball's driven out to right field. In the air. Marcelo waves it off and hauls it in for the second out of the inning.
Also Landon Barnes on that high fly. Now Nerea in here from Caracas, Venezuela. One of the 3 people from Venezuela on this team. And trying to get something going here as this team is quickly behind 2 outs here, no one on base. Falls off in that first one from Peterson.
Smith, slider. Relying heavy on that slider, righty-righty matchups. Looks like he's kind of starting that into a righty. It's just finding its way into the strike zone. Hard pitch for righties to handle. 0-1 coming. Little pause. And a slider. It's going to end up in. Now it's going to even at 1-1.
Yeah, now, with the Papas Fritas jerseys, I was talking to Beza, and he said those were his favorites, his second being the throwback jerseys. And if I'm going to be honest, I'm not a fan. I feel like You know, I do really love the throwbacks ones, but I'm just not a fan of the light blue, if I'm going to be honest.
You don't like the powder blue?
Yeah.
To each their own. You know, I've always been a fan. I refer to the Tar Heels North Carolina jerseys and the Ole Miss powder blues. I've just always been a fan. I think it's a classic throwback to the old Phillies and Royals jerseys of the 80s. And that ball is lined to the right side.
Going to be trouble.
To the left of Beza, headed into the corner. The throw's coming in. The tag's applied, but he is safe at second. A very, very close play.
And the fans here expressing their discontent with that call.
The fans apoplectic. Very upset.
You know, and it's all but fair because, you know, there was that questionable call earlier in the game in favor of the Hawks that Beecham ended up getting out of the dugout for, you know, making it a little bit fair there. But
there has been a consistency. It was a great throw by Marcelo over kind of towards the home bullpen there. And that's going to be it for Mike Peterson. Did a great job. Did his job coming out of the pen, collecting outs very fast. And we're going to see left-handed pitcher number 40, Noah McBride.
And McBride loves his slider. Made an appearance yesterday in yesterday's game. He pitched for an inning.
Very confident that slider, that fastball-slider combo. You're going to see a fastball in the low to mid-90s and a pretty hard biting slider to follow it up.
And we talked about this a little bit earlier. McBride, he is a year older as of yesterday, 24. Lucky 2-4 as he takes a knee on the mound. And now with that one, that is the second Mr. Mud pitching change by the Boise Hawks. They first start off the game with Gavin Garrell, who was able to get quite it going for the Boise Hawks, keeping the Ogden Raptors scoreless up until the fifth inning where he was pulled. And during that, he had 6 strikeouts. After Garrell, they went to Peterson, the right-handed pitcher, number 38. And after that, they're now facing over to McBride, left-handed pitcher. And McBride, he set a Pioneer Baseball League record for the most pitching appearances in a single season. He had about 43 last season. Very impressive feat for him.
Yeah. Yep, set the record in appearances and been a very reliable arm for us. First hitter he's going to see is the leadoff hitter, Cameron Feltz. Slider in at 82 miles per hour. It's going to be a 1-0 count.
And now the previous pitchers for the Boise Hawks were able to start off their very first play appearance pretty well, having a strikeout for both of them. Garrell struck out Feltz in the beginning, and Peterson in his very first struck out Bouchard. Let's see if McBride is able to continue it, falling behind 2-0. And now, before making his appearance in Boise last season,
skied to the right side of the infield.
Beza
under it and
makes a catch.
Hauls it in for the third
Final out here.
That's going to do it in the top of the 7th.
Heading into the bottom of the 7th.
Bottom of the 7th, and here in the PBL Game of the Week, folks. That's what you're watching. Beautiful, beautiful evening here.
And we'll be back. And welcome back here as Cole Kaler looks to start off here in the bottom of the 7th for the Boise Hawks. Cole Kaler in his previous plate appearances had a walk and a double to his name. He also hit a ground out in the 4th. Cole Kaler, one of the interesting stories so far is his shift to third base. Previously in his time in college, he primarily played the middle infield, playing primarily second base and second and shortstop. He made the change here to third, and after talking to him about the change, he said, it is a little different, but he's just really excited to, take on the challenge and give his team an opportunity to win.
Yeah, great guy to play third. He's got a really great arm. He has the ability to play anywhere in the infield, but his arm really stands out to me as a high-profile third baseman. Is that backdoor sliders in there for strike 2? Take the count 1 and 2.
Yeah, speaking on his arm talent, he's had some impressive throws already in this game. He's had 2 or 3.
Yeah, he made a play earlier from
third to first,
deep over there on the line that was on the money.
Sends an absolute missile.
He
chops that
hit
one.
that over, and that's going to be a 4-3 for the first out for the bottom of the 7th.
And now following that ground out by Kaler, we have Raymond Gill stepping up. Although he did have a walk in the 3rd, he's still looking for his first hit of the game. He had a strikeout and a flyout to his name. And now Gill, in college, he attended Jacksonville until he went to Miami in his final years.
Ball swung on and missed. Just a challenge fastball right there to make it 0-1. There's another one. Just swung right through it again. It's going to make it an 0-2 count. Calling time here. Give himself a second.
And as he calls time there, let's look into tomorrow's promotions as Seinfeld's Larry Thomas, featured as Soup Nazi, will be making a guest appearance for tomorrow's game, giving a fan's celebrity appearance there.
No soup for you.
Oh, yeah.
A timeless classic bit.
Are you a fan of Seinfeld?
I'm not a huge Seinfeld guy, personally, as that slider misses. Maybe a cutter on the outer half right there. Close pitch, 1 and 2. Never a huge Seinfeld guy. I think it was a little bit before my time, and I just never got into it.
Yeah, I occasionally watch it, but it's one of those shows that, it's easy to pick up, but I feel like it's hard to kind of binge, I guess, in my opinion. But is that one straight to pace there as he's able to step on the first to record the out there?
And it is the most, I believe, and folks can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was the most successful and longest running sitcom in history.
Yeah, and it was kind of interesting fact because, the show was based on trying to capture the nothingness, that people can relate to, where just normal life.
Yep.
Cast in a sitcom, so pretty interesting story. Pretty interesting just, overall narrative there.
Yeah, the plot line of it, yeah.
And Beza in here for his 4th plate appearance. He had a couple strikeouts and a fly in his 5th. Comes ball 2.
Hitters count here. Looking to see if he can do some damage right here. That's not what you're looking for. That's going to be a 6-3.
And after that tap, we'll be heading now into the top of the 8th. Only 2 innings left here in the game of the week as we now take a short break. 2-1 game here.
No one wants to deal with water, fire, or mold damage. Pursuit Restoration is Idaho's premier master water and fire restorer company. We are a 24/7 emergency service provider. Our technicians can be dispatched within 45 minutes from the first call. We are a full service contractor who can provide the cleanup process and full rebuilds to make your project.
Rada Paint's Cascadia Color Expedition team is heading into the great outdoors to bring the magnificent beauty of the Pacific Northwest into our homes. Rada's color experts pick and pair their
And we're back here in the top of the 8th with Sal Gazzo making an appearance here. The man from the baseball family. And looking for his first hit here today. Had a couple of strikeouts to his name and a ground out. Starts off getting ahead of the count there. Ball 1. Now McBride facing his second plate appearance. He ended up getting the call in the very endings of the bottom of the 7th. As that one goes almost to McBride's head there. He's able to dodge, luckily.
Yeah, that ball was smoked.
You know, as a pitcher, what goes through your head as, you know, a pitch goes drilled directly towards you?
Fight or flight.
Fight or flight.
You become self-defense. Luckily with, I don't know how the science works, but typically speaking, even if you get a ball hit 110 at you, even if you don't get out of the way of it, your body tries to find ways to get out of the way of it immediately. Because the reaction time is slim to none. That's it. As McBride throws a slider for a strike in at 80 miles per hour. Make the count 0-1.
Loves that slider right there. The bottom corner of the strike zone. As Teixeira is in here. Had a walk in his previous plate appearance. As he drives that high and deep into a catch by Marcelo to record the out there. Second out.
Yeah, great catch down the line there. Marcelo's he's been moved over there a few times for fly balls kind of into the bullpen area, and that's no exception. He makes a great catch and immediately checks in to make sure the runner's not tagging on that play and keeps him at bay. Great play.
Yeah, and Marcelo, originally not in the first lineup for today's game. Previously, Jorgensen was in at the right field position, and Poteet was in at the left. Poteet ended up taking a little break for today. Ended up getting ready for tomorrow's game as Jorgensen subbed in for him, and Marcelo's there at the right field.
Got action in the bullpen. It looks like number 41, Gage O'Brien, warming up over there. Counts 0-1 here. Steps off. McBride sets, kicks and deals, slider, pulled over the head of Kaler.
Just right out of the reach of his glove. Goes back to Kaler, though. And that throw to third holds off to Shara on second. Gazzo, sorry about that. Now Tim Bouchard. He had a single in this game. He is 1-2 so far. Had a strikeout to him. And the Raptors still looking to tie the game up. They were fortunate enough to tie the game up in the top of the 8th in yesterday's game. They were trailing previously and were able to drive in 2 runs to capture the lead. And ultimately, that lead stuck with the 6-5 game yesterday.
McBride here needing to collect some outs. First and second with 1 out, the 1-0 count. Slider in, first strike. It's going to even up the count at 1-1. Heavily relying on that slider. It's his bread and butter. Known to throw that pitch very often, but not a whole lot hitters can do with it when he executes it well. Even
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. And it certainly is not broke. Here it is. It's a broken bat from Minder. He's going to go to first. Beza's not going to get it, and he's going to check in. They got the runner hung up between third and home. He's going to run him all the way back and collect an out there, and the runner is stuck between second and third. They're in a snowball fight, and he's going to get another out.
What a play by the Boise Hawks infield.
What a heads-up.
Skelly showing off the burners, able to make the tag there at the third base line, and doesn't stop there as he is able to make the play, catching the runner on second in a pickle.
That's going to be interesting scoring that one. Good luck to whoever does that.
And what a play by the Boise Hawks infield to retire the side there in the top of the 8th.
And end the threat. That was massive.
Leaving them scoreless as we now head into the bottom of the 8th as the Boise Hawks hope to extend their lead here at the Game of the Week. And we're back here at the bottom of the 8th. Only 1.5 innings to go here in the Game of the Week. Boise Hawks, after 7 completed innings, are holding that lead 2-1. The Ogden Raptors were able to drive in 1 run on 7 hits, while your Boise Hawks have been able to drive in 2 runs on 7 hits and 1 error up to this point. Very impressive game from both teams here.
It's been a pitcher's duel all game. There have been a lot of consistencies and a good amount of strikeouts and a lot of soft contact. You've seen a few hard hit balls that have found the outfield, a few in the gap for the most part. Most of these outs are just soft contact from both of the sides. The ball's pulled over to the third baseman. And that's going to be the first out of the inning. It's going to be a 5-3 put out.
A little bit high there, but the throw was in time where he's able to safely land on the bag there. And now after that out, we have Walters here for the Boise Hawks. Anthony Walters, he had a single to his name. He is 1-2 on the night. The Viper Bats designated hitter for today's game.
Count's going to be 0-1. It's going to miss outside at 89 miles an hour. It's going to even up the count at 1-1 for Walters. Swung on and missed. Threw a slider there.
Now waits till 3 seconds.
That's gonna.
Throw is off target at first.
He's gonna advance to second and stop there on a wacky, wild throw by the shortstop, Gazzo.
Yeah, Gazzo. He knew. He just had to make the throw at a short, time margin, and that was scored single E6 there. The error given to Gazzo.
So now we got a runner scoring position. It looks like DJ Poteet is going to pinch run for Walters over there at second base.
Poteet, earlier in this game, we talked about it a little bit. He has wheels.
He does. Wheels. He's got strides, man. He's 6'4", and he's fast for his size, but he's also got that long stride, so there's a lot going on there. Looks like they're going to make a visit to the mound here.
And Poteet, he is second in stolen bases for the team with 3. He is shortly behind Cole Kaler with that 4, who holds that lead there, but just is a testament to his base running aggression that he's, able to successfully get those free bases for his team. And looking ahead, we already mentioned that we have the Seinfeld Soup Nazi coming in tomorrow. We also have the pregame skills and drills to show off some fun for those little leaguers here in the Treasure Valley. As well, we are continuing the pregame concert series at the Garden and have Blitz the Black Dog making another appearance. Now Jorgensen.
Oop, takes that. Pitch in for a strike.
Jorgensen has an RBI to his name. He had an RBI single in the 3rd inning of play here.
Flares it up the middle, but DJ's going to retreat back over to second. Soft liner up the middle. It's going to be hauled in by Gazzo. So that's 2 outs.
Now we have Marcelo stepping in. Had a single in both of his plate appearances today. 2 for 2
No, Marcelo looking to keep that going and capitalize on this insurance run, this very important insurance run. It's going to give our bullpen a little bit of room to breathe, not make things interesting.
You know, especially with both teams hitting at a high performance and playing at a high performance, competing throughout all of the games so far. The only really uncontested game was game 1, which the Hawks took pretty soundly.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what you expect with these two teams, man. We knew it was going to be a competitive series going in with the records tied at 6-3 in the South Division, and it was a dogfight expected, and that's what we're getting. That fastball's going to be up in at 90 miles per hour. It's going to be 2-0. So hitters count here. Marcelo looking to tack on that hit streak that he's got going on. The pitch is going to be down. Count goes to 3-0. He's going to force Pace to throw a strike here. And that's exactly what he does. Count goes to 3-1. So still very ahead. Hitters count here. Looking to find a pitch to drive. DJ Poteet's speed at second base. I imagine that anything in the outfield that is a hit is going to score the run. That's to the left side. That's on the ground. Throw over by Gazzo. Dug out by the first baseman.
In time. And just like that, we'll be heading into the final inning here in the game of the week at Memorial Stadium. We'll be back here for that final innings of play.
This is Mike. He's all about keeping good energy in the room. From his wood-burning hobby to practicing good energy smart habits, like sealing around doors and windows to save energy.
Why burn money?
More good energy tips at idahopower.com/save.
And welcome back in the final inning here of tonight's game of the week at Memorial Stadium, as we have another Mr. Mudd pitching change here in the likes of Gage O'Brien for the Boise Hawks. O'Brien made an appearance in yesterday's game and was given the loss. He pitched 1 inning, allowing 1 hit and 2 runs. He also walked 3 batters and recorded 1 K through the game. O'Brien coming to Boise from Southern Illinois. And now Logan Williams here for the final frame, potentially, for the Ogden Raptors. Williams, up to this point, he's had a couple of groundouts to his name. Now that one hit into shallow left field, takes a roll right over to Jorgensen. Throw to second, keeps him at first. Is in for a leadoff single.
Huge to get that cut off over there, because that easily could have turned into a double. You know, he was kind of shaded over as is, but with Jorgensen's speed, he took a really good route to cut that ball off and keep him to one here. That's going to set up a double play. If he gets it on the ground, that's going to be a great opportunity.
And O'Brien, as mentioned, has a chip on his shoulder from yesterday's game, giving the loss to his name there. So far, his record is 1-1. He's had 3 game appearances and an ERA of 3.60.
That's going to be taken at 92 miles an hour on the outside corner for strike one.
And now Nick Olch, the pinch hitter here for Dan Zero.
Another 92-mile-an-hour fastball misses just outside. O'Brien, a hard thrower. He's going to be anywhere from 92 to 95, even touching 96 miles an hour with a really hard curveball. And it's a major league pitch. It's really, really good when it's on. Going to foul that one back. That was 93 miles an hour. Turning up the thermostat a little bit. So O'Brien here with a 2-strike count. Gets a sign from Skelly. Here's the kick and the pitch. And that is going to be a strikeout, folks. 84 mile an hour banger.
Now 1 out, 2 to go here for the Boise Hawks. And now batting Landon Barnes, the designated hitter, number 35. And his game to his name so far, he had a double and is 1 for 2 up to this point.
Misses up and in with that curveball.
Now the Hawks down to their final 2 outs.
O'Brien looking to seal the deal here. One-0 pitch. Fastball is fouled away. 92 mile an hour fastball. Fouled out of play.
Landon Barnes, up to this point, is batting .450. He has 3 RBIs to his name on 9 hits so far.
Runner takes off. That ball is to the left side of the runner, so he's going to be safe at second with the stolen base. Count goes to 1-2.
Now Gil with a nice field there because, you know, if that would have gotten out of hand, the runner could have potentially took off the third. So
yep, good job to keep that in there. So the double play is out of the equation. O'Brien's going to look to punch Bouchard out on this pitch. And
takes a check.
A very, very close breaking ball. Just misses on the outer half. Count goes even to 2-2.
The Cypress, Texas native facing a 2-2 count here.
Ball's grounded over to the right side, fielded by Gill. And that's going to be the second out of the inning. That moves the runner over to third.
Williams there at third, serving as the potential game-tying run. Only 90 feet away. Now O'Brien just 1 out away from ending this one here and splitting the series for his team. Now Nerea.
First pitch fouled away to the left side at 92.
Nerea, he had a double in his last plate appearance and also had a walk to his name.
Gauge set. Curveball in for a strike. And the count goes to 0-2.
One more strike away for that potential final out here at Memorial Stadium. As the fans are getting riled up.
Here's the kick and the pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Minder has it, spins, throws, and he
Not
is
in
safe
time.
at first.
And now we have a tie ball game after that tying run does end up getting home. Minder doing all he could to get that throw in time. Barely beat out by just a second. And now number 10, Cameron Feltz at the top of the lineup will now be looking to extend off of that RBI single from Nerea. Now Feltz from Layton, Utah, as they talk it over on the mound. Gary calls for a pitching change, and it looks like
This is Blake.
Blake McFadden now here to try to close this one off. Number 19, the Treasure Valley native. Gets his name called here. And now McFadden getting his warm-up pitches. And McFadden, he originally went to Meridian High. He played from his sophomore year on as a pitcher there for Meridian High, the Meridian Warriors. And he ended up staying in the Treasure Valley as he went to NNU to play for the Nighthawks. He played there for 5 seasons before returning to his home team here, the Boise Hawks. McFadden, this past offseason, spent his time in Pocatello, Idaho. One of the biggest struggles he had when trying to work out was the snow that Pocatello got.
Always a barrier.
Yeah. And despite the snow, he was able to get good workouts in and has made a couple appearances so far to his name. So far this season, he has had 3 games. He has yet to record a win or a loss or a save. He's pitched 3 innings, allowing 3 hits and 3 runs. He's also allowed a home run. Now McFadden.
Here's the 0-0. First pitch from McFadden. In for a ball. In. Slider.
Now Feltz still facing the final out situation here.
Fastball's
pops out
fouled
now.
away. 88 miles per hour.
That one in the bottom left corner of the strike zone. And we'll make fair contact on that one. Feltz has 9 hits up to his name at this point, batting .300. McFadden looking to close this out for his team. Give his team the opportunity to get that walk-off run at the bottom of the 9th here.
Fastball in. Let's make it 2-1 here.
And Feltz, he's 2 for 4 up to this point with an RBI. He had 2 singles, one in the 3rd, one in the 5th. His single in the 5th drove in a run.
That ball driven
That
to
one.
left. And that's going to fall short of Jorgensen. And that's going to be runners on first and second with 2 outs.
Now that potential tie-breaking run there at second, but the Raptors are still facing that second and potential final of this inning here with Salgazzo stepping up in the box. He's hitless so far. Correction, he had a single in his last at-bat in the 8th. Now McFadden steps back onto the rubber. Looks back to second.
Slider in there for a strike.
Caught the corner of the strike zone there. Now Gazzo batting .385 up to this point. See, it's that one high and deep. And Marcelo trying to make a play. He does. And like that, we are heading into the bottom of the 9th. A tie ball game here after the Ogden Raptors were able to drive in that game-tying run with an RBI single. And here we go, heading into the final frame here at Memorial Stadium in the game of the week.
Some health plans serve members with these. There's one health plan that serves members with these. Pacific Source Health Plans, going beyond what's required to put members first.
And welcome back here in the bottom of the 9th here at the game of the week against the Boise Hawks and the Ogden Raptors. Leading off here is Trevor Minder. hoping to play hero for his team and get on base. Up to this point, the Hawks, they were only able to drive in 2 runs in the bottom of the 3rd, and that 2 runs has held off so far, and we have a tie ball game here. So far up to this point, the Ogden Raptors have 2 runs on 11 hits and 1 error, and the Boise Hawks have 2 runs as well on 8 hits and 1 error.
First pitch slider misses there by Stone. Minder ahead 1-0. That slider does it. And that's going to be 1-1. Even up the count there. Good pitch.
Minder has 1 hit to his name so far, having his only hit coming in the bottom of the 2nd as a single. He was also walked in the 4th and was a groundout victim in the bottom of the 6th.
A fastball at 93 fouled off to the right side. No car windshields were hurt in the making of this game.
I don't know. We did have a couple sirens.
Pokes it to right, and that's going to be a leadoff single. What a swing by Minder to somehow get his bat head out there and get it over the head of the first baseman, Juan Teixeira.
Now Minder making magic here with that.
That's going to be a leadoff single. He's going to come out. Alan Alonso, number 28 from Miami, Florida, is going to pinch run.
And Alonso, he was recently added on to the roster from the practice squad after O'Brien suffered an injury prior. And Oyama facing off as the top of the lineup returns. He had a single on the 1st and a couple flyouts. Oyama, a consistent hitter here. That one out of the glove of the catcher. Keeps Alonso there at first. So, no outs, runner on first. Do you think that there's any chance that they try to send the runner there?
I think if anything, Kenny's going to bunt here. Yep. And it hits him. And that's going to get him to first. So that's going to be first and second with no outs, but that is not good. Kenny's down on the ground. That hurt.
Seemed to hit him in the shin or in that knee area.
Looked like the knee. He's in a lot of pain.
And with that, I believe we should go to a advertisement break here as we hope Oyama is able to get in. Actually, never mind. He's up on his feet as the trainer here for the Boise Hawks is able to check in on him. Shane Nelson able to walk with Oyama as he gets in there to first.
Crowd very into the toughness of Kenny Oyama. That was a scary sight. Anytime you get hit in a bone like the shin or the knee, it's always scary. Luckily, it was a curveball or a slider at 78 miles an hour, and although it did hit him flush, count his lucky stars it wasn't a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. So, manager's going to come out. Acting manager, that is, Evan Parker, pitching coach. He's going to talk to the infielders and the pitchers and the catcher and try to calm Stone down.
And now Alonso, after talking some game plan to manager Gary Van Tol, he returns back to second base as Cole Kaler is now in after Oyama got on after being hit by a pitch. Luckily, he's able to get on base there. So runner on first and second with Kaler here. Kaler did have a double to his name.
Cole Kaler squaring the bunt and Stone throwing it pretty much in the exact same spot where it hit Kenny or Oyama in the knee. So it's going to be 1-0. I'm assuming the bunt is still going to be on here. First and second, no out. Trying to find the easiest way to score a run with Raymond Gill coming in.
There's still no outs here, so they still have that chance.
It's going to be a 94 mile an hour fastball in the outer half for strike one. Make some noise board coming on, and the fans oblige. Getting into it. Really eager for Kaler to get a job done for his team here. He's swinging. Takes that fastball out at 93 miles per hour. And the count goes to 2-1.
Now Kaler taking a breather there. Stepping back in. Switch hitter. Kaler taking his game from Francisco Lindor, the shortstop for the Mets. He particularly swirls himself and tries to focus his game on Lindor because he sees some parallels. Lindor being a switch hitter in the middle infield. Although Kaler is playing at third, he typically does play from the middle infield.
The 2-2.
Holds off
down.
Full count. Still no outs here. Now the crowd getting wild as there is a potential for a walk-off here with that potential winning run at second. Alan Alonso there.
Here's the pitch.
Hits that, and they get one. Unable to get two as Alonso gets home, and we are over as Alonso
What a
with the
read.
winning run is able to advance to third and home with that sacrifice hit in the infield.
My gosh, what a read. He saw it was soft up the middle right away. He took a great read around third, saw how hard the ball was hit, and he didn't hesitate at all. He went all out. It was everything or nothing, and we cash out. And ladies and gentlemen, that's a W. The Boise Hawks take it 3-2 to even the series.
And what a game it is for the game of the week. Building up to the hype as we end it in the final frame as Alonso's able to touch home on a very, very close game here. Man.
It was a nail biter the entire time, Adam. There was not a moment that hardly any of us could breathe.
And with this game, you have to talk about Gurriel and his great pitching performance up to this point in the game. He was able to pitch very deep, pitching 5 innings in, and ultimately able to record a couple strikeouts. He was able to record 6 strikeouts to his name, and ultimately able to get that win here.
I mean, he set the tone immediately with all of his pitches being in the zone consistently for lefties and righties. He challenged guys. He got ahead of counts. He did everything that we're looking for out of a starter to just carve and give us a chance to win every single inning and every single at-bat, every single pitch. And a testament, just a true testament to pitching to his strengths, man. It was awesome.
What a great game. Gavin Gurriel with that. And just like that, we will be closing off here at Memorial Stadium. Thank you for tuning in to the Game of the Week at Memorial Stadium as the series is now tied. Thank you again, and signing off is Sam and I. Thank you again, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.